right out there. Hey, check it out. Rappers in my backyard. Rappers in my backyard. Rappers in my backyard. Ooh, rappers in my backyard. Rappers in my backyard. Rappers in my backyard. Ooh, talk, express, relate, connect. Talk, express, relate, connect. Talk, express, relate, connect. Talk, express, relate, connect.
What's up, family? Welcome to another episode of Rappers in My Backyard, the podcast that stays lit. Today is no exception. We will be dealing with our topic today is going to be long distance relationships. So that's going to be delicious. There's actually 4 different types of long distance relationships. You got your family, you got your friends, you also have military, and last but not least, you have romantic and intimate relationships. So, with all of that, we're going to cover all of those 4 things within our questions and topic. Missing someone is a part of loving them. You'll never know if you're never apart. How would you know if you're together all the time? You have to spend some time apart to know how strong your love really is. So that sets us up nicely for our conversation today. Are you guys ready to talk, express, relate, connect? Well, we are too. So let's bring it to the backyard. My girl she's my right hand, you guys. Everything rappers in the backyard. My girl Leah C is in the backyard. What's up, family?
Hi, everyone. I'm Leah C. Thanks for joining us again. I'm so excited as usual, and I am so ready to talk about this discussion, and I hope that I don't get a little bit weird with it.
You're always weird. What are you talking about? Oh my goodness.
I don't know.
Weird with it. We love you because you're weird with it. Leah, stay with it. On my left is my girl, Marsha C. She is in the backyard. What's up, Marsha C?
What's up, family? Rappers in my backyard. You know, this long distance relationship thing is something close to my heart right now. And I'm feeling it, I'm in it, I'm living it on a day-to-day basis.
Oh, gosh.
Because I do have a
long distance relationship.
Okay.
And we love her because she has her long distance relationship. Well, you know what? It looks like you guys are ready to talk about this long distance relationship situation.
Yes.
And like I said, there's 4 different types. So let's keep that in mind as we're going through this whole thing, because everybody has a different one. Marsha C here, I would say that your long distance relationship is romance and intimacy.
Yes, romance.
Right.
Definitely a lot of romance.
A lot of romance?
A lot of romance.
Well,
it's romantic.
You're fresh off of a really long distance trip that you've taken.
Yes.
And so we're going to dig into that.
Yeah,
we got to dig into that.
Let's dig into that.
I mean, she's over here grinning ear to ear.
Yeah.
Delivery must have been met on this one. Inquiring minds. What is she's like?
The passport got stamped.
Oh, it did?
So
what country?
international.
What country?
It was Jamaica.
Oh, Jamaica. Okay, hold that thought.
Okay.
Now, we already talked to Marsha, so this particular question I know is going to be for her to kick it off.
Okay.
But who here has had a long distance relationship And what is that experience? And we're going to kick it off to you, Marsha, see, because I mean, you're fresh, you over here gleaming, and you got the hot tea. So tell us about this long distance relationship. She has her guy, her love on her phone right now, and we're all looking at it, and I'm seeing their love. So let's just get to it. Tell me.
Well,
about
I
it.
actually met Neil last year when I traveled to Jamaica for the first time. You know,
Okay.
I was at Margaritaville, just, walking. I just simply was walking, and I wanted to put my feet in the water.
You wanted to get wet. Okay.
Yeah, no, I put my feet in the water.
Okay.
So Neil was there with two other guys.
Okay.
And they were kicking around a soccer ball and stuff. So Neil's intro line to me was, "Am I into men or women?" And I was like, wow, that's kind of strange.
Repeat that question.
I wanted to know if I was into men or women.
Oh, okay.
Because my girlfriend who I went to Jamaica with, she's like 6'4". so when you see us together, you kind of go,
Look like a couple, maybe?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
So he was there
That's
kicking his soccer
interesting.
ball, and he said that to me, and I was like, what do you mean by that? I thought, that was so taboo for Jamaicans.
Right.
So needless to say, we had our little small talk or whatever, and he was feeling me, I was feeling him, but I just was like, I'm no Stella got her groove back right here. I'm
Okay.
just coming to Jamaica to have a good time. It's my first time. I'm not looking for nobody.
Okay, so you weren't looking for
I wasn't
love
really
at all
looking
on
for
this
nobody.
long distance.
No,
Okay.
no. So what happened was, he said, let's exchange numbers. And I was like, sure, whatever. So he said, are you WhatsApp? I go, yeah, I do WhatsApp. So he took my phone, put in his information, and he took mine and stuff like that. So later on that evening, we were talking to each other via WhatsApp. And he was like, dang, I really wish I could be with you. Could you send pics? And I was like, hey, hold up.
The first time you met him there at the vacation.
Yeah, the first time, I met him at the vacation.
Okay.
He was like, send me some pics. I'm like, hold up, dude. I don't do that. I don't do the adult show and tell. So we were like, okay, well, let's talk, And he was like, well, first of all, Neil is 26.
Okay.
And at the
Okay, in this point, you are taking this way out
So
of...
yeah, that's
this is
we have
too
to
much.
talk about something on that level eventually. Down the line,
Right.
for
We
sure.
got to talk about the age difference, but this isn't the show right now. What we want you to narrow it down to
that's gonna be a
is
good
this
one. That's
long
gonna be a good
distance
show.
relationship and your experience.
Okay, fast forward.
And so I need you to fast forward that.
Fast forward to my birthday, which was February the 1st. I turned 50.
Happy birthday! Woo! Let's give it up for Marsha.
I'm
Birthday.
I'm fresh from Jamaica. I was there celebrating my 50th birthday. And while I was there with Neil. And Neil was like, you know what, Marsha, I really like you. I don't see you as my girlfriend. I see you as my wife.
Wow. Okay.
So I'm like, okay. Because it took it to a whole nother level for me.
Right.
And while I was
right.
there with Neil
Jeez.
for the 7 days, he really protected me.
Okay.
He was by
And so
my
that-
side.
that is the main thing
whole
for you,
time. I mean,
is
we
that
woke
protection.
up together. We went to bed together. We sat outside. We did.
Okay.
I mean, you're vacationing as you should.
I mean,
really.
right.
we
I
were,
mean, I
we,
believe that.
we were together, but the whole part was there was a lot of romance.
Oh, right.
A lot of
And that's-
romance. And you got to remember, I'm from a different culture. He's from a different culture. So we were blending.
But you met in a common place.
Yeah, we met in a common place. And it was a good place.
Great.
It was a good place. I have to say that it was a good place.
And I feel those positive vibes
Yes.
from that. Leah C., you're over here. What's your experience with long distance relationships? Have you had one?
I have not had a long distance relationship. It probably does not work for me. I do not knock it, and I'm one of those that say
Wait,
never
wait,
say
wait.
never, never
Wait,
say
wait,
never. But right now, I haven't done it. However,
And you're not interested?
I'm not really interested. No, I'm more of the go with the flow. That's why I say you can never say never. Go with the flow. You never know. I don't know. I may go somewhere one day. I haven't went that far to experience like, oh my God, I'm interested in somebody. However, I can kind of say, knowing me, it's going to be like a 50-50 type of situation. You know, because you're not there. I'm not going to just go into a gung-ho like that. I'm going to keep it real at that moment and be like, hey, I'm gonna have something here and I'm gonna have something,
Something
there, and it
there.
is what it is, and I'm gonna be real with it. Like, you probably got something there too. I don't know that until we make a few more trips back and forth together. When I feel secure, then maybe I can do something like that. However, long distance relationships can even be like, for me, it can be like living in another county. Like, as far as like Rancho
okay.
Cucamonga or something like that. And that doesn't even really seem to work. People play games too much. So that's why I'm saying I don't know if I can go into it, because if you can play games like 50
you're
miles
saying
away,
no. So
come
you're
on
just
now.
saying no, you're not going
I
to
don't
deal
want,
with it.
right now, no.
Okay.
That's not for me
that's
right
a
now
hard
today.
no from you. And I really, really generally
It would be more of a
feel
fun thing, probably.
a fun thing, something on the side. Okay.
Across.
Well,
Yeah, way over.
how would you guys say, or Marsha, she had just threw up something about this, but how would you say that technology has improved the success of long distance relationships? Like what you were saying, WhatsApp, Skype, FaceTime. What is your thought process as far as has that helped with your love?
It definitely helps with me and Neil. Because I'm into the whole senses thing. I want to feel you, touch you, taste you, smell you. I want
Okay,
to be
repeat
able to,
that.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, I'm into the whole senses thing.
Okay.
I want to feel you. I want to touch you.
you.
I want to taste you. I
Ooh.
want to see you. I mean, all those senses. When the guy is local, you can do all that.
Yes.
But what app allows me the opportunity to, first of all, to see him?
So you can see him
I
visually
can
on
see
WhatsApp?
him. We do videos every morning. We'll
Wow.
text each other. Of course, we phone calls. But I have to see him. He knows I love pictures. Anybody knows me, I love pictures.
Right.
So in the morning, I'll be like, okay, take a picture.
And send it to you.
Send it to me. I
Right,
want to
right.
see my goats, because every morning he walks the goats. So it's like it gives me a way. It gives
To connect.
To connect.
Yeah.
It gives me a way to see your day to day. Like when I'm sitting in traffic going into work, he's like, "You're still." I'm like, "Yeah, here's a picture."
Yeah. Because
You know,
in Los Angeles, like
yeah.
I said, we can take hours to get to work.
Hours and hours.
So you think that technology has definitely improved?
Definitely improved
The long distance
because if I
relationship
wasn't
for you.
able to at least see him, we would only be able to text. Talk but I can physically see him. I can see what he's doing at that moment, and he can see what I'm doing at that moment.
Okay. That sounds like, you sold that to me. I'm buying. I'm ready to get me a FaceTime and see what that's like. Leah, what do you feel about technology? I know you haven't necessarily had a long distance relationship, but do you think, seeing this love in this woman's eyes, do you think that you could FaceTime or possibly WhatsApp or whatever and fall in love and have a successful long distance relationship?
I believe that I can FaceTime and do all that. Someone would probably have to take the initiative, because I just haven't done that yet. I don't even know if I have that app on my phone. So if somebody took the initiative, maybe I can get into it. Like, I'm one
Right.
of those, you got to like teach me, and maybe, I'll learn something. But as far as me doing that, I think it will last for so long.
Well, okay. Well, why wouldn't an app or FaceTime be good for
No,
you?
I'm
What's
so
the issue
happy
with
that those things exist, because there are some people that are in actual, like, real serious relationships that need
True.
that, and it is helpful for them. For me, it depends on how long I'm going to do that. You know what I mean? I'm not doing that for like probably 6 months or longer. It's gonna be fun for the first 3 months,
And then after that, you wouldn't
if my feelings
be
get a little
looking
bit
for-
into it a little too much, now I need to like question some things,
Right,
Like,
right.
because I'm gonna want to see you.
Right. That's
And that's going to be
that's the
annoying to
thing.
me. That's going to be annoying to me and frustrating to me. And then I am probably, my mind's going to be thinking a little bit too much, and I'm going to be wondering, what are you really doing? Oh, and then for me, we may FaceTime each other, but I'm still going to be like, yeah, right. Somebody might be in that other room. Somebody might be right there, and y'all like scheming on me. You know what I mean?
Oh,
That's just
okay,
me.
that's
So there
that's
we
a
go.
different thing. That's
I
a
know,
different thing.
I know. So
But
I'm just a little twisted.
I just really believe that technology can improve and has improved long distance relationships. So, Marsha, what are the pros and the cons that you think technology brings in regards to being physically together?
Okay, the con.
So replacing that.
The con for me about WhatsApp, and I know it's data and all that other stuff, but when I'm a talker, I like to talk.
I didn't know that.
You know, I get to going, and I'm up here saying something to Neil, and all of a sudden, bloop, connection. You know, on the other end, the person's battery's low. See, WhatsApp will tell you when a person's battery's low. That's the one.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So WhatsApp is like what's going on.
It'll tell you, their
way.
battery's low. So the con for me is when I'm having a real deep discussion with Neil, and all of a sudden, boom, WhatsApp will lose its connection.
Oh,
that's my con.
I would have a problem. Okay, that's
the
only con you have about it.
I mean, first of all, it's a long distance relationship.
Right.
And that's what it is. It's not like I can like roll around a corner and you're right there.
Right.
This sister got to take several flights
in order to get to you.
So,
and we're going to talk about that too, because that's a challenge as well. Yeah. Do you have anything to say about it besides torturing this whole idea? Just torturing it. You just don't want no parts of it.
There's just, like you said, different types of long distance relationships when you are actually like intimate and trying to actually be like in a relationship with someone
together.
There's different types. We're
talking about the
certain types. Okay, the pros and cons. As far as the pros go, for me, or maybe for some people, I hear like I actually spoke with someone, and at a certain point, it was that she liked the distance because sometimes she got, she needed a break.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
something annoyed her and she was able to go. Now, in that situation, as it being a pro, it's like when you're with somebody all the time, sometimes you don't know how to take that little break the proper way.
Right.
It's like if someone says they want a break, it's like, oh my God, what do you mean you want a break?
Right.
You should be able to be in that same room or place where you're at and have a break to like, let me go in this room and cool off. Let me go shopping. Let me do this. In an international domestic, you're able to take a break and it's easier to make up. To me,
what's that saying? Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
But there's one thing that
that's the
you
pros
guys
to me. That's the pros.
Neither one of you guys have said the major con.
The con
is the sex. The sex is missing.
I'm sorry. That's
a con for me.
Sex is a big issue as well as trust. Both of those are the cons.
But that con is sex for real, because my thing is that to me that is the way that you connect. And you guys know I'm all about the connection.
Well, I'm all about the connection. I have to say this. Sex isn't everything.
I was gonna go there too.
I don't know about all of that.
Listen.
It's a big part.
No.
Wait.
Listen.
Go ahead. Why isn't
Me
it?
and Neil talked about that very topic when I was in Jamaica. It's like,
okay,
you could have had sex, the first time you meet somebody, but what do you really know about that person? And with me and Neil, we wanted to really get to know each other.
Right.
That's true. That's true.
So,
I agree with you on that.
You have to.
Sex kind of blinds things.
It can, exactly. So I agree with you on that.
And so with us, we wanted it to be more about getting to know each other first. Mm-hmm. Really, really, because when we were having situations definitely while I was in Jamaica. I mean, my rental car got towed, and that was very stressful.
Right.
But to know that he was there for me on a different level made a whole difference. And the intimacy was different.
Yeah. It was more mental to you.
It meant more to kiss him.
Wow.
To hug him.
Right.
That meant more to me than this whole, let's work this out, I mean.
Well, see,
but that's the thing. Like,
that's the thing. Like I was trying to say, I totally agree with you, because unfortunately that goes the same in relationships, period. You should actually you should communicate better. It shouldn't be just about the physical, because eventually the physical is going to go, and you want to make sure that person, you're able to sit and talk with them, just have a good time. Sometimes, it's not definitely 100% about that. That does play a factor in it. Because when I did speak with someone regarding that, they did mention that it was more of like dating over the phone. Who's
the secret someone you keep
I'm not
going
I don't want to say names, but I do know people that are
Give
close
me
to me.
some facts. I want some names.
I have
you
friends,
are in the backyard.
I have family members.
This person?
I have family members.
Tina.
A few family
Is it
members.
Tina?
You can say that because the name does start with the T.
I
and
love
the
you,
name starts with
Tina.
an S. But I have family members, and I also have a friend, some friends that have had long distance relationships in different levels, international, domestic, and military. So what they did say was, like how you mentioned, is that it was more of a spiritual connection.
Oh, okay.
Because you were able
Great,
to talk.
great.
And then if you're really open enough and you really let yourself out there to talk, that's very important. That's what the problem is. Some people are quick to have sex, but they don't know how to actually talk and have real conversations and deep conversations, and not afraid to, and then sometimes when sex isn't involved, you're able to really say something that you really should be saying instead of tippy-toeing around something. So
I agree wholeheartedly.
Because a lot of people use sex as a way of manipulation.
Exactly.
But when you take the sex out, that changes the whole game.
Yes.
It changes.
And you know what? That is a whole different show because sex does change things.
But it's important. But it's important at the same time.
That's why I didn't say don't leave the sex out.
Yeah, but
so ladies, we have talked about the pros and cons. We've talked about technology. We've talked about the different types of situations. And this is the one thing that I got to ask you guys before we go to break.
It's break time.
Do you think shows like 90 Day Fiance has encouraged more long distance relationships? Because I know I love the show.
I love the show. When I used to watch the show, I'd be like, these people really, you couldn't find nobody in the States, really?
Yeah, you couldn't find nobody across the street.
And then all of a sudden, this is so real time for me. When I was on my flight back from Jamaica, one of my in-flight shows was 90 Day Fiance.
Oh my goodness!
And
I know you watched it. I know.
And it was an episode with the young lady from the guy from St. Anne's, Jamaica.
Okay.
So that hit home for me on a whole different level because not only does Neil want to come visit me, he wants to come live with me in the States.
So we're going to do this whole 90 Day Fiance.
We're gonna. It's like
move to the States too.
It's like I'm like, wow, this is about to be my reality.
Wow,
this is about to be for real for me. And it's like,
this
dang.
is hot like fire.
I'm like, dang, should I go on the show? My son Jojo was like, Mom, if you go on the show, we're gonna trash.
Yeah.
My son Jojo was like, we ain't having that. We not having that, Mama. We ain't doing a 90 Day Fiance show.
That would be good. OMG. Marsha is over here gleaming. I'm girl Leah C's over here confused about this whole thing. She's like, this can't be happening here. Love comes in so many different ways, and we have a lot of different views. We have somebody who's in love over here, and we have somebody that's just sort of closed the door on the whole thing.
I'm not going to close the door. I'm just
You're not? Is the door open?
The door
is
like, the door, I'm peeking through the door and closing it every now and then. I'm not just open.
Oh, okay. The door like,
can I see?
Can I see?
Oops, close it. Doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
Don't look right.
It's because your whole theory about there's something behind that FaceTime. Like you're FaceTiming me.
It's not about the FaceTime.
And then there might be another girl over on the side.
It's about the whole situation, period. Like there's a lot of questions and things to be answered and wondered, and your mind just gets a little bit too much all over the place. I don't know. Maybe I just need to go somewhere this year and then see what happens.
We'll see.
And then see what kind of connection or communication I have going on. But sometimes you would like 99.9%, kind of believe in yourself that it's gonna be a whole different level type of thing for
I'm
me.
with Marsha C. I'm enjoying this wonderful extravaganza of love. She is keeping me all warm over here on the left side with her experience and her love today. And on this side, my right side is very cold because Leah is slamming the door on FaceTime and all of that.
I'm totally happy for you if because things do work out.
You could do it. If you could do it. And that's why, ladies, we have a very important component that we'll be throwing on the grill after we come back from break.
Okay.
Because like I said, we done dealt with the pros and the cons. We still have more questions because we definitely want to be able to look at all sides of these things, and when we get back, we're going to really get hot. We got the grill going on. We got my girl here with more information about her experience and I can't take it today. I can't take it. She is over the top, isn't she?
I mean,
Look, T.
I'm feeling it. I'm loving it. I mean, this year in the Chinese New Year is a year of change.
Oh, it's the year of the rat.
It's the year of the rat. It's the year of change.
This
so
is random.
I'm like, you know what? This sister needs some change.
No, that's fine. But you know, like there's places like right here in the United States that I've never been to. Like at least I know I can just get a ticket quick. I can go whenever, even if it's for over the weekend when I'm off for work or whatever. But to like have to like a 12+ hour flight, 20 plus, like, you know, and then I can't just do that on a regular basis. And if they can come out here like that too, and then in certain situations they can't because it's more of a legal situation, then that's a little frustrating to me. Like maybe it can be a little bit like exciting at some point, but I want to know how long does this excitement last till it gets to a little bit more serious.
She needs a 90-day guarantee. Marsha, on the other hand, has a 90-day guarantee. Yeah. She's in love, and she is sharing it with us today. And our girl Leah C, not so much. She wants this love to be right next door, and I agree with you.
People can't even work on next door sometimes. You know what I mean? It's just like everybody's busy in business and whatever. So of course I can do it.
How many of us have relationships where the guy was in town? He lived right there, but still you guys had scheduling conflicts. You know, they're not a bit, you know, I'm not available. You know, always something going on. So I was like, you know what, let me give this a shot.
Right.
Exactly.
As you know, because at first, I saw Neil, I met him last year in September. I was supposed to go back in November, had some changes. So I didn't see him till February. So we're talking about October, November, December, January, February. 5 months.
5 months without
before I actually saw him again. And I mean saw him like
touched him.
You just remind me. You just remind me of something. See, that's just why I just delete things out of my head sometimes.
What? No, you're on 30
seconds.
No,
it's back then. No, I actually delete things sometimes, and you have to dig them out of this little thing. Okay, so anyway, I did actually meet someone that came out here before a while ago, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, they were from somewhere else. It's closest to like New York, let's say. And it was super cool. It's like, I don't know if it was just a point in my life at that time to where everybody just like got on my nerves. And I just felt comfortable to where whenever he called, it was like that voice. They said good things. They said nice things.
And
it was like they were sending pictures. And it was just comfortable.
Right.
You know what I mean? And good for me at that time. Now, there could have been a point to where I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to date him because it's fun. It's exciting, blah, blah, blah. And everyone else like, oh no, I'm seeing someone. I actually kind of went through a little period like that. Oh shoot, as long as like if I can go out there and see him, he can come see me. I'm good with it because it's just fun. He's so cool. I like that voice. So with that being said, that's how you can get maybe caught up in a situation depending on what you're going on in your life at that time.
Yes.
But then what happens when you really actually want to see that person now?
Well, we're going to deal with that when we come back from the break. We have miscommunication on the grill, you guys. And I think that is one of the key things that is problematic in long distance relationships. So we're going to put it on a grill and we're going to torch it until it's done. You know, here, Rappers in My Backyard, we really like to talk, express, relate, connect. And we just want you guys to hang on for just a minute while we take this small break, and we'll be back to you with the grill, the real, and more questions. Keep it right there. I'm Lisa O, and we're going to break. Welcome back, family. Thanks so much for hanging with us. Thanks so much for sticking with us. We are back to the subject at hand, long distance relationships. And we didn't get a chance to finish all of our questions, so we're going to kick it off by going to the hot button question that we didn't have a chance to say earlier. Then we're going to hit the grill with miscommunication, and we got a grill master in the house, and so all of this is going to be a lot of fun. So let's get back to it. What's up, Leah C?
Hey, I'm ready for the next question.
Are
I'm ready
you
to
now?
cover these
You relaxed
things.
and all of that. Over here, my girl, she's the grill master. She got something for you, and I appreciate the authentic garb. You know,
'cause
it's Black History Month, and you brought the color, and we love you for it. Marsha C is in the building, in the yard, in the building, on the grill.
You know, I take my cooking very seriously.
Yes, you do, and you're cooking. Let's talk about these long distance relationships. Let's start this off with, what do you guys believe is the main reason or one of the reasons why long distance relationships fail?
Well,
You wanna take that
I gotta
one?
take it. I gotta say the expense part. I mean, airline tickets are not cheap. I don't care how many frequent flyer miles, because the sister ain't doing Spirit. I'm not doing Spirit.
Oh, you're not doing Spirit?
No. I always have check luggage. But it's the expense part.
Right.
I mean, the
right.
airline tickets, the Airbnb, the rent-a-cars. Good Lord, a sister need a job, second job, just for all the expenses I incur.
Yes.
You know, so it is, I mean, having a long distance relationship is expensive because you do have to travel to see this person. Even if they travel to come in and see you, there is an expense because guess what? You got to take off time from work.
Yes.
I mean, those are all the cons in long distance relationships because there is a money factor, a difference in your time. If the dude is local, you know, you can just roll up, bang.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Well, like you said, the expense that can't be overlooked
No, it
because
can't.
there's real costs and there's a real operating situation that we all got to live under. You know, so what do you think about, what is one of the reasons that you feel a long distance relationship would fail?
I think that it can be overwhelming, you know, because there's a lot more. Well, okay, so I'm talking about international right now. It can be
Don't go
overwhelming.
international with me.
Well, I'm just saying it can be with the international. It can be overwhelming because it's more expensive. That's totally more expensive, and there's
Yes.
laws. One person may be able to visit, the other person may not be able to visit. That can be overwhelming, and that can be like, you know what? I can't do this. I need something that's, you know, I'm ready for a relationship, and I need something that's like here. And then with domestic, I don't see really any cons in that because you can easily get a flight in that situation. And then as far as like the pros to it is technology.
No, why do you think they fail? What is
why do
one
they fail?
reason that
Okay.
you think that they fail?
Trust
And why?
dishonest.
Why?
I mean, trust pretty much because you have to really you have to be in a place where you trust what they're saying, where you are also secure with yourself, and you also need to me, like, be like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do, and if it doesn't work out, you can't kick yourself in the rear and that or whatever, you know, if things
If
don't
it
turn
doesn't
out,
work
you know,
out.
because and then sometimes with people, the cons, you have this idealization, since they're not there all the time, you have this like imaginary, like fairy tale type of thing, and then when they actually come here,
It's
that
totally
can like what
different.
I've
Yes.
heard is like sometimes when they actually get together, that's when it kind of falls
Comes-
apart.
yeah.
So you need to make time to really put effort into communicating on a regular basis, and even someone visiting. If it can be both, one person has to go on a regular basis
Yes,
to make sure
definitely.
you can even really tolerate that person, being around that person like that. And then little things may jump out of the little box every now and then. You may be like, wait a minute, they do this. Oh, wait a minute, this doesn't add up. You have to put time in.
Yes.
And yeah, money wise, that can get in the way.
Yeah,
It'd
definitely.
be discouraging.
Definitely. You have to schedule time to talk. That's
And
one
visit.
of the major things. Well, yeah, you have to visit, but what I'm saying is sometimes it's not ideal to be able to come up with money to go on a trip. That is why we are throwing miscommunication on the grill, because you just gave one explanation for it while Marsha gave another one. But actually, I believe, and also our viewers believe, that the main thing out of the three things that we have put out there this week to go on the grill, we said it could be miscommunication, trust, or jealousy. And everyone thought that answered back or gave us an explanation said miscommunication. And so that's basically what you're saying in a nutshell. Is that, in my opinion, that could be a main reason why a long distance relationship could really fail.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
I mean, first of all, when you have any form of relationship, you have to have communication.
Exactly. And you have to have trust.
You
So
have
I
to.
feel like
Yeah,
it's
you
trust
do.
for me.
You do.
I mean,
It's
they
trust.
said miscommunication, but for me, it will be trust.
Right. Trust, I mean,
Because that's the
a
number
big
one. If you
thing.
trust somebody, that's
a
going to
big
take you to the
thing.
next level to open up to communicate better.
Right. That's a big thing. That really is. Also, we have the different types of long distance relationships. Like we had said early part in the show, one of those is military. There's 4 different types. You have your family, you have your friends, you have your military, and then also you have your romantic and intimate relationship. Marsha has been a brainchild for that for us today, but you have family that are in the military. Can you speak on how that long distance relationship really works?
Well, from my understanding, from what I learned, is like it's not really considered, they don't really want to label it a long distance relationship. It's just a relationship.
Okay.
You know, it's long distance, but it's work wise. So they don't like long distance in their eyes is totally different. It's about being apart. They're working.
Right.
So
right.
that's, I guess, a different
That's a whole
level.
different
That's a whole
thing.
different ball game. And as far as like domestic, that from what I like spoke with a few people, family members, friends about, the domestic seemed to be a little bit harder than the one that was in an international.
Or long distance. The thing is, though, to me, I understand what you said about the military, it being more like work. But the bottom line is, although it's work, you're still missing that connection physically.
Okay.
So no matter what, the bottom line
Yes.
is that connection physically is why, although it's military, but it's still considered a long distance relationship.
So in my head, I'm feeling like with the military situation, you know, well, not 100%. Most of the times, you know, you're going to end up being back together. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like they're gone for a few months, a year, whatever, but they have a date where they're scheduled to come back. In an international relationship, you may not have any idea when you're going to be able to see this person, especially if
right.
one has access to go whenever they want and the other one doesn't, but then it's a money situation involved. That's a totally different type of long distance relationship.
Right.
These people are like married already in the military the majority of the time. They have a home established and everything else. Yes, absence make the heart grow fonder and all of that, but they're looking forward to knowing
something.
when that person comes back.
But
and how do
distance-
they handle that? They talk all the time. Sometimes they even travel with that person. They're able to do that. You know, but with the times they're not, when they have kids or whatever, and they can't take the time to do that because they want to make sure that there's some stability, then that is different. But
that's
they know how to keep it going. They're married. That's already a bond there. In other situations, they're not married yet, really. They're dating.
Right.
They're in a relationship
Well, you know what?
apart.
I've had a long distance relationship too, and it wasn't while I was married. And the bottom line is, whether you're married or not, that still does not determine that relationship is going to be solid.
Okay.
Because
Yeah,
again,
totally.
That's
Totally.
why relationships are difficult, because you just don't get a chance to do it one time, and that's going to hold you through it.
Yeah.
It's a constant rhythm and fulfilling of somebody else's desires as well as your own.
So with that being said, seeing that relationships are difficult anyway, I don't think that I'm going to put myself in a situation with something that's even harder.
And that's been your
You know,
whole
it's already
opinion
kind of
with them.
hard to deal with something that's local, and even in a military situation, that's hard. You can get frustrated,
Yeah.
and you're wondering, that's even a deeper situation because they're going for a different reason,
Yes.
which can get to you too. So I'm not going to put myself in certain situations that may even be harder for me that I can avoid.
Right. Well, you look like you ready for the grill. You over here all getting all hot. Let's ask one more question. Can we get one more question in, ladies?
Okay.
What is your advice, if you have any, how a long distance relationship can be successful? And Lee, if you don't have none, don't give none.
Okay.
But Marsha C., do you have any hope? Look, do you have any hope on how a long distance relationship could be successful? And then let's get to the grill.
Well, with me, I'll keep it real short. I mean, you have to love that person. You have to want to be in the relationship with the person.
That's just what I said at the beginning of the show.
You want to do the work. Because
Yes.
that person is not there, you still got to keep it going. You still got to keep it alive. And that's why technology for me does that.
Yes. Yes.
It gives me the opportunity to actually see him, to talk with him. Because I had a long distance relationship before, and I would only, we talk on the phone, and that person was in school. But this here, I can always connect with him somehow.
Right.
Whether I send him a text, hey baby, I love you, good morning.
Well, y'all must have got that communication right. We need
We
to
get
get
it
to
right.
the grill, girl. Let's go to the grill. Can we get the grill? We ready to go to the grill? What we got, baby?
Well, we got on the grill miscommunication.
Okay.
And the thing about miscommunication is people don't really say what they mean.
Exactly.
They
Exactly.
feel that,
Oh,
well, if
yes.
I tell the truth, that person may not want to stay. So they'll tell little white lies, or they'll embellish certain things. But you have to communicate the
Yes.
truth, your true feelings, what's not working for you. Because eventually, it's like this dude said to me, you rather have the hurt now than a lot of hurt later. So you might as well
Yes.
just open
Yes.
it up.
That's a good one.
Be truthful, state it. Because you
Right.
know what? The other person may be feeling the same way too.
Exactly.
And sometimes we fail to want to
Yes.
communicate in that manner.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, sometimes, you know what? Love hurts.
It does?
It hurts sometimes.
Oh, my
But
goodness.
you gotta communicate.
Okay. Yeah.
You the miscommunication comes in when people don't want to tell the truth.
Right. Well, I mean, Leah C., what do you feel about that? Do you feel that miscommunication occurs a lot of times because we are scared to tell how we truly feel?
Yeah, because you're scared to let out your true feelings because you're like, oh, they may not like this, or I may ruin it, and I still want to deal with that person, so I'm just gonna play it cool and just go with this flow. But you gotta be your real self, because eventually your real self, and what you want is gonna come out.
Yes.
And it's going to jeopardize the situation, because it's like, well, why you didn't say that before? And then it's like, sometimes a person wants that. What really sucks is when two people are scared to tell the truth of what they want.
Right. It becomes a masquerade party.
Yeah, it really does.
I mean, because
It's like,
you
oh,
don't
I don't
know
think that she
anything.
really wants a relationship.
Well,
I don't really think he
well,
does.
well,
so
maybe he
I'll just
wants
go with
this,
the flow.
or maybe she wants
no,
that.
No,
If
what do
you
you
just-
really want?
Right,
And you
just
say
say
it.
it.
And you say it. Exactly.
it.
Well, you know what? It seems like both of you guys are acting like that's easy to do, and you both know.
Well, you gotta-
That's difficult.
You got to know
It
in your
really
heart
is.
and be strong about it. And
That sounds like a Hallmark card.
you
But
gotta
you know what?
your
You know
heart,
what?
gotta- and
You
be
know what?
strong. And
You know
be
what?
strong and
You
stick
have
to it.
to take the emotion out. Take the emotion out.
Okay.
And when you speak to someone, state the facts. Don't go to, well, you make me feel this way. What did that
Yes.
particular person do? What did they do? What was the action?
And you're serious because you're banging on the table
no,
with
my
your
whole,
point.
because me and Neil, we went through this.
Okay.
We went through this while I was in Jamaica.
Okay.
I took everything about how I felt and I stated what the problem was. And we were like, oh, okay, well, that's doable. That's fixable. And he apologized. He said, Marsha, you know what? That was my fault, and I'm sorry.
But let me interrupt because I got to. But the sex is not in it yet. So yes,
It's gonna make a
you
change when
can
that happens.
ask those
Yes,
kind of
yes.
questions and be clear when you have not went over the line.
And then what happens when you do have sex?
Then
and then you're
after
like,
that-
well, remember when you said, like, yeah, I'm just saying, that's another subject too, though.
But you're saying something that's not necessarily, or it's not true.
But
when
see-
you put that sex in it, it changes things.
But you know what? For us, it's only gonna make it better.
Right, because you
Because
did
we
it the right
connected.
way, kind
We connected
for you
on
guys.
a whole nother level. I got to know him. He got to know me. Because like he said back, when you were sleeping, I was wondering if you were a bear or not. Because I snore.
Oh my goodness!
Because I snore.
And he didn't leave you.
He didn't leave.
But still, okay, that's okay, because sometimes in the very beginning phases, that can be a little cute, and you can just like get over it and be like, oh. But then as time goes on and other things annoy you, it's like, oh my God, like, can you
Okay,
please
well,
stop snoring?
is snoring a part of miscommunication? Because we got miscommunication on the grill.
But
And
you know
y'all
what?
jumping
Exactly.
all over
But
the
you know
place.
what?
Stay with what we got on the fire.
If we bring it back to communication, miscommunication. When you misrepresent yourself,
That's-
because a lot of people come to bed with a different representative.
Thank you. That's what I have right here. It's like a lot of times, you know what we got?
People come to bed with a different person.
You have the representative first because they're trying to reel you in, and then all of it. Exactly. That's exactly how it
Oh, so it's like an insurance agent.
Yes.
They come in the door, they selling you the policy you like, 12 months, no responsibility, everything's nice, and then soon as you buy the policy, they let you know that line item is not
Exactly. You didn't read that fine
You didn't
print.
read that fine print right there. You
We
didn't see
never
that?
read the fine
You see
print.
Well, we need to start reading it when
need
it
to
comes to
read it.
relationships
Yeah.
because it's right in your face most of the time.
And a lot of us don't
Okay.
want to see it.
Don't want to see it. Like,
No,
nah,
no,
nobody
don't
can
wanna
really
see it.
be
We just
doing
skip
something
over
like that.
But okay, your explanation for miscommunication was without the sex. Now let's talk about the issue with miscommunication once the sex has been, that relationship has started. Because that's where I really think the miscommunication comes in, because there's levels. Now I don't really want to tell you get on my nerves or whatever.
Okay, a lot of people. Here we go.
Ain't a lot of people.
Some people.
Okay.
Some people.
The majority, though.
Some people may feel, well, I don't want to communicate this because I
Right.
don't want that to
Yes.
stop.
Yes.
So they fail to communicate the fact that, I'm married, or
That's a whole different.
or may fail to communicate some other things. I do live with somebody, but the sex ain't good. Sometimes people don't want to say. Like some guys.
Oh,
But then you shouldn't take it personal necessarily.
I mean, then
you know?
some guys are very sensitive.
Of course.
When it comes to sex,
Aren't we all? Aren't we all?
we all are.
I mean, you just can't. They'll be
Sometimes
like,
you don't want to take that shirt off. You want to do that shirt.
Sometimes they go, well, how was it? And you be like,
It's good.
it was good.
That's
No,
when you
and
know
damn
it's
well
done.
you
know,
want to
you
be
How
like,
about just not say nothing? Just be like, yeah, just
But
do
that
that.
is no good.
Oh, well.
we're gonna flip it on the grill.
Okay,
you
so
flipping it?
Yeah, flip the grill.
We're gonna flip the
So
grill.
okay, if it's not good, right? How can you say it in an uplifting and loving way? You guys know I'm a lover. So can we think of a way, like, okay, even though you guys have said different times that it's not about the sex, okay, so if it ain't good, how do you say in a loving way?
Babe, we need to maybe try some different things.
Talk up now.
Maybe, babe, we need to try some different things. Are
Right.
you into role playing?
Right.
See, I'm a foodie.
Something to spice
See,
it
I'm a
up.
foodie
Something
person.
to spice
See,
it up,
I'm
maybe. Let's see if
food.
that
My favorite go-tos is that can of cheese. The aerosol can of cheese.
Oh my goodness,
You
she's
know.
taking it to a whole nother level.
Sometimes you gotta have the fun. You gotta spice it up.
Yes.
Because it ain't always about penetration.
Okay. However, though, again,
That's
like
what I was
I
about to
said,
say, too,
you
though. It's
guys
not
are
100%
sliding
about
off
that.
the grill. We're talking about miscommunication. Look, come back.
But you know
But
what?
you said about like when with sex though,
I
miscommunication.
said that when she said everything's fine and dandy, I told him I like this, that, and the other. I said, yeah, you can say that because I'm real strong and tough when I ain't open myself up sexually. You see what I'm saying?
Yes,
because I
you
don't
get a
feel
little bit
like
more-
I've
exactly.
given you something.
Yes,
You see what
that's
I'm saying?
true.
We're on even playing
yeah,
ground.
yeah.
But what I'm saying is, when you do have the sex, now let's talk about that issue with miscommunication, because that's when I think it really comes in. Because now I done had sex with you and I want X, Y, and Z from you. I don't want that to change. And my opinion or my situation may allow that to change. So if I say a certain thing. So what does that miscommunication
it doesn't
look
turn
like?
into miscommunication. What we tolerate changes.
Okay.
It's not so much the miscommunication part, is our tolerance level for certain things may change.
So you miscommunicate that particular
part of it. You really don't get into that whole process.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
You don't really get into talking about, you want it to keep going, so you'll say little things to encourage it in a positive way.
Yes.
You'll make sure you keep all the negative static out.
Yes.
You'll change subjects a lot. You know, brothers, they'll dance around some stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
Brothers will two-step on some stuff.
And they good at that two-step.
They'll two-step
I done
over
seen
some
them.
stuff.
And I sit up there and go like, how you do that thing? Because I like their moves. I try to do that in my spare time. But anyway, what was you going to say, Leah?
I was just about to say, like,
miscommunication.
a lot of times, like when you were saying, like, a lot of times when you know, like, maybe
Spice it up.
maybe
Put it on the
sex
grill.
is
No,
not the thing anymore, or you're not feeling somebody anymore.
Yeah.
You know anyway. Why do we need this clarification? We just know it. And then if you know it, you should just be the one to be like, you know what? Evidently you and I feeling me no more, and I need to go somewhere else because I need to make sure that this is handled. So then cool, we could just be friends or whatever. But you know, it's okay. Go on and do what you got to do. If you have to be the one, somebody has to be the one to take the initiative. That's what it all boils down
That's what
to.
it is.
Right.
A lot of
And
people don't wanna hurt
miscommunication.
A lot of people don't even
Yeah.
want to admit it to themselves. You got to admit it to yourself too. Oh, they're not saying nothing, but it's obvious. This is not happening. This is not happening anymore. This is not happening.
That
They're not even
nonverbal
communicating.
gets
Things
real.
have changed.
Yes.
Okay, let me put it out there like that. And if you still say no, that's not it. Whatever. Go on and do your thing.
Right.
Go on and do your thing.
With your miscommunication
Even if they're saying, because
self.
they're having miscommunication problems and you're not. You put it out there now. Let's see what they do once you start doing things differently. Then if they come forward and things start changing. You know,
Okay.
something's going on.
Okay.
Something's going on. Either you like me or you don't.
Okay.
Either you like somebody else or either maybe you having issues and you just don't want to do anything. You just want to be by yourself. You're confused. Whatever the case may be.
Miscommunication, as you guys can see, is already just complicated with us talking
Exactly,
here. We have
exactly.
one here that
Yeah,
has this.
yeah.
You have your. But the bottom line is that miscommunication, not only in long distance relationships
Just
and what you're
period.
dealing with, just
Family,
period.
everything.
And that is a main focus that we all need to do better. And that's why this gives me a chance to say how important it is for us to talk, express, relate, and connect. And I have such a cool quote also on these long distance relationships. Can I tell you guys? Y'all wanna hear-
Please tell me about it.
Okay. Being in a long distance relationship forces you to learn to communicate well. And there is no other skill more essential to having a successful long-term relationship. And that's Lisa McKay.
Yes.
And with that, I think we need to close the grill down because we can get it all heated back up again. And let y'all know what we're doing next week. Next week, we are going to have Infrared. He's a recording artist and also an amazing dad. We are going to be talking about father-son relationships here on The Backyard. I mean, February is Black History Month. It's love. And we want to show some of these different relationships as it refers to family and friends. Right? That's what we
Good.
want to do.
Sounds great.
Sounds great.
Well, we love you at Rappers in the Backyard. We are the podcast that stays lit. We rap about relationships, music, and entertainment. And remember, this week, make sure you continue to talk, express, relate, connect. I'm Lisa O, and these is my girls, Leah C and Marsha C. Thank you so much for tuning in. We love you guys. Keep it lit. Rappers in my backyard. We're out. Mwah. We love you. Enjoy your Sunday.
Bye, baby.
We rap about relationships, entertainment, and music. You heard?